Howdy folks, welcome back to World of Tanks with the Mighty Jingles, and it is time, once again, for another episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And the bad and the ugly in this particular episode is pretty despicable. But before we get on to that, here's a game in the Hellcat. Now this is a couple of patches back. I've actually had this lying around on my hard drive for quite some time. This is Gov T, he's in the Hellcat. Tier 6 American Tank Destroyer, it's a Tier 6 game. You can tell that this game's from a few patches ago because the T-67 tank destroyer on the enemy team is still called a T-49. Obviously the T-49 is now the name of the American Tier 8 light tank with the 152mm derp gun. We're on Live Oaks. The T-man sets up here with the Nashorn in your fairly typical tank destroyer starting position when you spawn from the south on this map, and he's looking for enemy tanks. Caminet is up, binoculars are up, Hellcat has fantastic view range anyway. Nothing spotted. None of his team seem particularly keen on pushing into the town, so he's thinking, screw this. I can see how this is going to develop. It's going to be really boring, and instead he decides to head south, where there is at least something to shoot at. He's got a couple of tanks down there. What his heavies are doing down... See, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong, and they've just lost one. There's nothing wrong with heavies going around the south on Live Oaks, but if you're going to do it, you have to do it. You can't afford to mess around. The heavies can take their time in the town, but not when they're... And they've just lost another one. But the heavies can't take their time when they're pushing around the south here. You have to push around the south here. Otherwise, well, this happens. He knows there's something over there. There's an E25 on the enemy team. Those little buggers are stealth incarnate. Okay, we'll go for the T-34. Good hit. Everybody in front of him is dying. There's the E25. He kind of ums and ahs a bit. No, if you can shoot an E25, shoot an E25. You don't want to let one of those little buggers live. And everybody in front of him has died. And he's it. He's now the first line of defence against 5 or 6 enemy tanks. Here comes the first one. Well, there's one less now. Well, he's not completely alone because there is a Panzer IV Hydro approaching to give him some backup. Or at least, that's the theory. Takes a hit from the Wolverine there. Doesn't have anything on the Jagdpanzer or the E25. And there goes the Panzer IV-H. The corner of fail on Live Oaks claims another victim. Just because you're a Panzer IV Hydro doesn't mean you can swim. But that's not the funny part. The funny part is going to come in a moment when the Panzer IV-H starts raging in chat. But for now, the T-man here has his hands full. There's a Jagdpanther and an E25 in front of him, and there's the Wolverine. Well, doesn't have to worry about the Wolverine anymore. There's all kinds of enemy tanks up there. And there it is in chat. Noob team. That from the Panzer IV-H. Explain to me how it's your team's fault that you drowned your tank in the lake, because I really don't understand the logic behind that one. Now, there was a Jagdpanther and an E25 over there. Where the hell did they go? He's killed pretty much everything else, and he switched to APCR so he can get through the upper glacis of the Jagdpanther. But there's nothing there. Strange. Well, he's not going anywhere in a hurry, so he can afford to wait. His team is getting its arse royally kicked. Oh, there's the E25. And he's got him. Okay. But where the hell did the Jagdpanther go? Oh, T-49. You can tell that this game is a couple of patches old, by the way, because that's a T-49. T-49 obviously used to be the name given to the American Tier 5 tank destroyer, and now, well, he's dead, and it's the name given to the American Tier 8 light tank. So, while all of that was going on, popped over the top, killed the E-25, pulled back, killed the T-49, he's still there. He hasn't moved. Is anybody really surprised that the Jagdpanther could have just moved forward 15 metres and killed him? But no. He likes that spot. It's a comfortable spot. It's cosy there. Why would he want to move from it? Well, anyway, unbelievably, despite that performance, they're still losing. So, well, there's nothing coming down this flank anymore, and we've just spotted their artillery, so he comes back to defend the base. I'm not sure he realises he's still got a PCR loaded here. He definitely doesn't need it. His hands are probably shaking with excitement. I've certainly done it myself a couple of times. Switched to APCR to deal with a tough target and then forgot I had it loaded. Oh, watch this shot. Hellcat. Boom. That ain't going to happen in patch 9.6. Not with the accuracy nerfs. Now he's taking a hit there from a Crusader. Okay. So, pulls back. He's not going to be spotted by the Crusader anymore. It was just the Hellcat spotting him when he took that snapshot at him, so he's quite safe. But he knows there's a Hellcat out there. There's no sign of the T-29. And there's the T-29. Takes the shot, pulls back. T-29's return shot misses his hull, just clips his outside drive wheel, immobilises him, but does no actual damage. And there's the Hellcat again. Now, these two guys defending have both been spotted by both the T-29 and the Hellcat, so their positions are lit up on the map. Now remember that Crusader? This would be a perfect opportunity for the Crusader to come around behind them, wouldn't it? So of course that's the exact opposite of what the Crusader does. Why would you do that? Why would you drive in front of the guns of a Hellcat and the T-34-1? It's not like you didn't know they were pointing this way. Oh, I don't know. Now the Hellcat's disappeared. And he's killed the T-29. But remember, the Hellcat was right up there with the T-29. That Hellcat's a sneaky bugger. Where did he go? I've got to tell you, I did not see this coming. There he is. How the hell did he get there without being spotted? Not that it matters, because now he's dead too. And they've just spotted the Churchill crossing the field. Too little, too late, too slow, Mr. Churchill. And, yeah, finishing him off is not going to be too much of a problem. But the amount of what the hell moments in this replay just left my jaw on the floor. That's low-tier gaming for you. This replay was sent in by Warhawk97. He's the KV4 driver, but this replay is not about Warhawk97's performance in this match. This is about the WZ132 driver on his team, who you can see hightailing it up the middle of the map there into the monastery here on Abbey. And to a lesser degree, it's also about the enemy team. I've had this replay sitting on my hard drive for a while, and I was always dubious about whether or not I should actually show it, because the behaviour that you're going to see in this match is so despicable. I didn't know whether I should actually put it into a video. I've decided to go for it. Now, I do recommend, because most of the action, if you like, in this replay is going to happen in chat. So if you're not watching this in high resolution, I recommend that you do. And I'll do my best to give you a running commentary on exactly what is going on. Now, looking at the map, the WZ132 has rushed the middle, and he's done it completely alone. And there's a whole bunch of enemy tanks about to follow him up the middle, and the only support he has is from a Jagdpanther 2 in the base. Now, I can see that just from looking at the map, and I'm not the world's greatest player. Judging by his stats, he's a pretty good player, so he should be able to see that as well. There were at least 2 enemy medium tanks approaching the centre of the map from the other side when he took that position. looking at the map, there is no support there for him. If those tanks rush his position, he's dead, unless he's got a way out. And there are a couple of ways that you can get out without having to go past all those enemy tanks. If he ends up getting killed in there, it's nobody's fault but his own. And yep, he's just been bum rushed by, I think it ends up being 4 enemy tanks. He's got no chance, he can't stay there. But he does stay there, and they kill him. So, oh well, lesson learned. Except here's where it starts. Pay attention to chat. First he starts cursing his team. And then he starts telling the enemy team the positions and intentions of every tank on his team. He's telling them now that the middle is completely open, everybody's gone one side, just push the middle and you'll win. The only thing in base is a Jagdpanther 2. And then the enemy team start thanking him for it. Worse than that, they actually start coordinating their actions with him. Unbelievable. I mean, it's bad enough that some guy who gets himself killed first out of his own dumb inflexibility and then starts raging at his team and giving away his team's positions to the enemy. I mean, that's bad enough. If the enemy team choose to act on the information that he's giving, there's nothing you can do about it. But at least have the common sense to keep your mouth shut about it. It's cheating. Why would you advertise that you're cheating? I mean, if he wants to cheat, fine. And if you choose to act on the information that he's delivering to you, fine. But keep your mouth shut. What are you, stupid? The next thing that happens, well, the Jagdpanther 2 in the base is being surrounded. The Object 261 artillery starts asking for help. The T-69 on the team starts heading back to assist. Crybaby tells the enemy team that the T-69 is coming back to defend the base. The enemy Centurion, with no shame whatsoever, yeah, thanks for the warning, I see the T-69. So the situation is not looking particularly good. I mean, the scores are close, but they're in a terrible position, and there's hardly anybody going back to defend the cap. I mean, the team probably didn't deserve to win anyway, but they're being capped, and these guys are still pushing down the road. A couple of them do turn around and start heading back, but there's an Object 263 and a T-34 who saw the problem developing right away, and they're already in a position to start interrupting the cap. And chat descends into the usual orgy of recrimination with everybody blaming everybody else for the impending defeat, and that's the moment when Crybaby tells the enemy team that the 263 and the T-34 are in a position to interrupt the cap, and tells the enemy team exactly where they are. One of them actually gets a shot off and resets the cap, and there's Crybaby in chat. Damn it. I've never seen anything like this. Looking at the map, T-54, STB-1 are also coming back to attempt to defend the base. This is not a loss. Of course, he then tells the enemy team that the T-54 and the STB-1 are coming back to defend the base. Up until now, the help that he's giving the enemy team has been pretty general. Some tanks this side, this tank coming back, but now he starts giving them precise locations and positions of the most dangerous tanks. AMX 1390. He's just told them exactly when and from which direction to expect the AMX 1390 attempting to reset the cap. At this point, even the enemy team start getting pissed off with this loser. Well, some of them do. Others, like the guy in the Centurion, are still quite happily acting on his instructions. Unbelievably, despite the fact that this douchebag is relaying his team's every movement to the enemy, the scores are still even. So now he starts bad-mouthing the enemy team as well. The Centurion actually starts apologising to the douchebag in the 132 for his team's inability to follow his instructions. I really hope you can see what's going on in chat here, because I have never seen anything like this in a game of World of Tanks. That Object 263 on Warhawk's team and that T-34 were absolute rock stars. This 263, I mean, they're not losing, they're actually winning at this point. Here goes the Object 263. What does the douchebag do? Tells the enemy team exactly what he's doing. Starts giving precise instructions to the enemy team on exactly how to kill the Object 263. There it is. Tells the enemy T-110E4 to stay in his position and kill him when the 263 comes down this road. The 263 driver isn't stupid, he knows he's just been spotted, and Captain Douchebag is relaying his every movement to the enemy team, and they do still have artillery, so he gets himself artillery safe. A couple of seconds later he's dropped off the radar, gets moving again, but Captain Douchebag gives his position away once more. So of course, doesn't surprise anybody that there's a welcoming committee waiting for him. And I have to admit, I do feel kind of sorry for the guy in the T110E4 here, because don't forget, the T110E4 is the only member of the enemy team to tell this guy to shut up. The 263 was spotted coming down this road anyway, and even if he hadn't been, that T110E4 is not a bad player. There's every reason to suspect that he might have anticipated that somebody was going to try to get around this side of the map, without being told by the arsehole in the WZ-132, but now, because he has been told, it looks to the entire world as if he only came down here because Captain Crybaby told him to. And Captain Crybaby is actually trying to tell him what ammunition to load to kill the Object 263 as well. Oh, God. But then, Conqueror Gun Carrier happens, and so Captain No Pants, that's actually the player's name, by the way, I'm not insulting him, in the Object 263, was the team's last best chance at winning this match. And the team, considering the handicap that the team have had since the start of this game, with this raging douchebag giving away their every move and guiding the enemy team to their precise locations, they haven't done badly. This would have been an easy win if not for that. Oh, I know what I'd like to call him. I'm sure you can guess. You know, it's been a long time since I posted anything really bad in the good, the bad and the ugly. Generally, when the bad or ugly section of the video fires up, it's usually just something down to incompetence or ineptitude. Does everybody remember, I've forgotten his name. It's quite infamous now, actually. Unfair Plane, he Kemp Bush. Everybody remember that one? Schroeder, that was his name. The guy in the Lerva. That's probably the most infamous bad and ugly section of the good, the bad and the ugly that I've put up so far. But Schroeder wasn't malicious or anything. You know, he was just incompetent and stupid. This is nothing other than deliberate, malicious douchebaggery. I have never seen anything as bad as this before. And this is the reason why it's taken me so long to actually put this replay into the good, the bad and the ugly, because normally when you get to this section of the good, the bad and the ugly, yeah, it's something bad, but it's something that's actually funny in its badness. It's something that you could find amusing. There's nothing amusing about this. This is not funny. This is just despicable. The only good thing I can say about this game is that justice was eventually done. This is not an isolated incident. The raging idiot in the WZ-132 has done this sort of thing before, and he's done it since. And his account has been wiped because of it. So, there is justice in the world, after all. Well, you probably need some cheering up after watching that whole sorry incident. So, here to do just that in the STB-1 Japanese Tier 10 medium tank. And I think this is... No, I have put an STB-1 replay up before, but I haven't done many of them. Well, this is... And I really do have problems pronouncing this name, so I'm going to have to come up with a nickname for him. This is Rira Rumpel. No idea where he's from. Plays on the EU server. He's in a platoon with an IS-7 and an E-100. Tier 10 match, obviously, here on Lakeville. And 1390 rushing the middle. So he's going to take advantage of that 1390, getting into a very, very early spotting position to unload some hurt on, I think it's in it, yep, an E-100. He's going to get a couple of good shots into this guy. You know, there are a couple of things that really rustle my jimmies when I'm playing World of Tanks, or even when I'm watching a replay of somebody playing World of Tanks, and map ping spammers like that arsehole in the T92 are one of them. Yes, we heard you the first 15 times you pinged the map. Sector E2 is not looking very clever at all. We only have an AMX 1390 in the valley, and he's not going to be anything more than a minor road bump if any Tier 10 heavies decide to push north through there. Rira spots a potential kill shot here, and it lands on target, but it's not a kill. Oh well. Had to take the shot. So he's done some damage here, and he's looking behind him to see what exactly, if anything, he has to go with him in order to plug the gap, as that 1390 is desperately pinging for help. He does take his time heading back around there. It's like he's looking for more shots across the middle here, but then he finally... No, actually I better go back. Looking at the map, there is something else coming back over there with him, so he's not going to head around here completely alone, but that 3090 is not going to be able to hang around for much longer. In fact, he's already hightailing it out of there, and he may even have left it a little too late. Is he going to get away? I hope so. He's done a good job holding those guys off. Between him and the artillery, they've given them some problems, but... Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Those are some big tanks. And there's one of the other things that really gets on my tits in World of Tanks. People who start bad-mouthing their team's win ratings. Yeah, fair enough. If you've got a 44% win rating in a tier 10 match, you're probably terrible. And you're probably never going to get any better. But does telling them that make a difference? Are they suddenly going to start playing better because you've pointed out their flaws to everybody in the match? What exactly do you achieve out of it, other than make everybody feel bad? I don't know. Well, anyway, plenty of supports arrived around this side, so Rira's heading back over to the middle, as there are targets that he can shoot at without any fear of getting shot back at. And there's one. It is very long range. And wouldn't you know it, didn't really have much of the E100 to shoot at there. And while the STB-1 does have a good gun, the accuracy is good enough. I can't remember the exact stats of the accuracy on this gun. I know it's something like 0.35 or 0.36, which isn't bad accuracy, but it's not great accuracy. It's not British accuracy. And it gets the job done. The STB-1 is not a bad tank. But patch 9.6 is coming, and in patch 9.6 there's a general accuracy nerf. And what that means is that shots are going to fly towards the outside of the aiming circle more than they do now. So I do worry, because I don't have this tank yet, and it looks like a good tank, and I'd like it to still be a good tank when I get it. But I do worry that after patch 9.6, in situations like this, where the tank is shooting at targets that are at about the extreme limit of its acceptable accuracy range, you know, the range at which it can expect, I mean, you can't aim for weak spots at this kind of range, but you can at least hit the target. Well, are you still going to be able to do this after patch 9.6? I might have to get myself onto the test server and run some tests. We shall see. But I suspect that when patch 9.6 comes in, you're going to see a lot more people firing a lot more gold ammunition, because if you can't hit weak spots reliably at these kind of ranges, or even at medium ranges, because your gun just isn't accurate enough anymore, well, people are just going to load the gold, aren't they? Maybe that's the plan. You know, the Russian ruble is in trouble after all. Perhaps this is Wargaming's plan to get people to spend more money on World of Tanks. Conspiracy theory? Yeah, you go, shots like that. You can do that right now. Can you still do that in patch 9.6? I guess we'll see. So how's the match developing anyway? Well, I've been rambling on about accuracy nerfs. It's not looking good, but it's not looking that bad either. They've pretty much lost the town, but they've beaten off the assault through the valley. And there's an enemy T-95 coming up this road, and the only way to deal with the T-95 coming up this road is from directly in front, and you don't do that in a medium tank, so he's getting the hell out of here. Last guy in the town has just died. The 3090 who was spotting in the middle has died. They're now losing 710. Without that 3090 and his binos, they're not going to spot anything else over on that side of the map. So the good news is that these guys have successfully dealt with the enemy heavies who were pushing up the valley, and now one of them is pushing south. Interesting. Can they not see what's coming through the town? Well, is he going south? Is he changing his mind? Is he coming back? It's not a terrible idea. It would put pressure... Oh, he's dead. Oh, okay. Well, here they come. Get this gun working. He has done a substantial amount of damage so far. But nobody's... Oh, they've just lost another one. There's now only 3 of them left, and one of those is artillery. That M103 does not have an awful lot of health. So it's 3 against 8 and half of them are tier 10s. T30 up, and they're putting some concentrated firepower into him, but that M103 just got spotted. And now it's 2 against 8. Oh dear. And no, you're not going to penetrate an E100 at that range from that angle. It's just not going to happen. The T92, I don't know what it is about T92 drivers in this match, but they're all just arseholes. He's raging at his team, calling them all noobs. Can he kill that E1? Oh, okay, he needed that. Now, he does have some concealment here. I don't know whether or not Rumble actually has sixth sense on this tank, because... No, he does, because he got spotted earlier on, didn't he? So, that's actually quite promising. From that position, he didn't get spotted when he killed the E100. T92's firing, blind, because there's nothing lit up. Oh, there's the T95. He finally made it up the road. And there goes the artillery. So, it's now 1 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's a potential Kolobanov's medal. He just has to kill 7 tanks. Or somehow make it to the enemy cap circle and cap before any of them get back. Oh, this is not good. This is not good at all. What do you do here? T95 rolling into the cap circle. That thing's got some strong armour. Well, he's aiming for the weak spots, he's just not hitting them. All those shots he took at maximum range across the lake, most of them on target. T95 point blank range, missed. A world of tanks, you so silly. What do you do here? All that T95 has to do is stay in the cap circle, and they've won. You can... Oh, okay, that's interesting. The T95 is not in the cap circle, and yet they are still being capped, so there's something else there. Now, watch this. He's broken line of sight with the T95. T95 is not the fastest machine in World of Tanks. Check this out. Comes around the other side. Dead AMX there, he can use as cover. And M103. Boom! Headshot. Got him. Pulls back. Gun's almost reloaded. There's still something in the cap circle. Oh, there's an E100. And there's a T30. Damages the T30 and blows his tracks off. Let's see now. Who reloads faster, a T30 or an STV-1? My money's not on the T30. Okay. Still pretty bad, but not as bad as it was. There's still something in the cap circle. It's the E100. But where's the T95? Where the hell did he go? He didn't try to chase him around that rock, did he? Yep. In a T95, trying to chase an STV. What's wrong with you? Well, he's coming back now, so he can't hang around. He's got to kill that E100. And there we go. Done. And something just... Oh, it's another... What the hell? Was that an artillery shot? There's a T90... The enemy T92 is down there. Didn't see that coming. Well, he can't hang around. That T95 is slow, but he's not so slow that he can afford to sit there in his own cap circle waiting for this T92 to pop out, so he has to chase him down. Now, we have not seen the Waffenträger E100 yet. So, yeah, he can't hang around. He's not taken any fire from the Waffenträger. No idea where the Waffenträger is. You'll note that he's loaded APCR for this. Should probably have gone with high explosive, but he gets away with it. Listen to me. Scrub like me sitting here saying, well, he should have done this and he should have done that. Shut up, Jingles, and watch him play. He got the kill. If it's stupid but it works, it isn't stupid. So they're being capped, and it's probably the T95 doing what he should have done in the first place. If the T95 had just sat in the cap circle, this game would be over. They'd have capped by now, because he couldn't come around. Not with the T95 pointing the gun around the corner, and all of these other tanks rushing up to back him up. Oh, what the hell? Oh no, it's a... Well, it was a mouse. Unsurprisingly, he got spotted. But he doesn't have any artillery to worry about. He knows where the T-95 is, but there is no sign of that Waffenträger E-100. He hasn't been seen since the beginning of the game. Oh, there's the T-95 again. Under the gun. That's it. That's where you shoot the T-95 from the front, if you get the chance. Now, the STB-1 does have a very, very bouncy turret, but... well, he's got the health. Oh, and he's missed anyway. He's definitely going to get the next shot off, and the T-95... that's it. He's trying to wiggle the armour, but... yeah. And now he's trying to pull back. But it's a case of too little, too late. He's going for the tracking shots, and he did. Yeah, he did. He managed to blow his tracks off. The health of the track modules on the T-95 is really, really strong. It can take a lot. He finally takes a damaging hit, but it can take a lot of shots to take the tracks off a T-95. This, however, oh, that troll spaced armour on the sides is going to be the death of you. But he's gone around behind him. Come on. He's making sure this one, bingo, he's got him. So now, one-on-one. Where the hell is that Waffenträger? Is he coming up the valley? His team seems to think so. Well, they can't make their mind up. Coming up the valley, he's coming up the side road, he's coming up the valley, he's coming up the side road. I guess we're going to find out one way or the other. And, you know, I take back what I said about the enemy T-92 driver. He is a good sport after all. He's just offered... Rira, congratulations on a game well played, and there is the Waffenträger. Oh, and he's on full health. And he was on full health. Oh, this is awfully risky. Are you sure he can't hit you? Yeah, I don't think he can. Well, okay, so you put 2 into him for the 1 that he put into you, but now you only have 608 health, and how the hell are you going to get around the Waffenträger on this kind of tight road? He only has to hit you 2 more times, and I'll guarantee he's got more than 2 shots in his magazine. Now what are you going to do? And I do believe we have ourselves a Mexican standoff. Although I'm reasonably sure that nobody here is actually Mexican. What are you going to do? You can't get around him on this road. And he's already demonstrated that he can hit you from up there. Oh, here he comes, here he comes. No, he's changed his mind. No, he can't hit you from there. What are you going to do? Why is this Waffenträger wasting his time? Why does he not just come round and kill him? Is he frightened that he's going to go over the top if he tries to come around and get behind him? Oh, you got to blow his tracks off. But he's still got the angle. And, yep, he missed. You see, I know something that Rira doesn't know, and I know that this is actually quite safe because that is the world's worst Waffenträger E100 driver, and that is one of the more impressive Kolobanov's medals I have seen to date. Ace Tanker, 2,800 experience, undoubled, 108,000 credits. Let's just count the medals here. The Langlades medal, killed 4 enemy vehicles while they were capping. I don't think I've ever seen one of those before. And then all the boring medals. Oh, another Radley Walters. Oh, I don't know. High caliber, Top Gun, Defender, and another Kolobanov's medal. Oh, you know, you start getting blasé when you see these kind of replays all the time. You think, oh, another Kolobanov's medal. Yeah, seen it. It's a Kolobanov's medal, for God's sake. Yeah, you've seen it, but have you done it? No, I haven't done it. Look at that. 9,000 damage done. Look at the experience. He's not far off double the experience of the next best player. Oh, I hate you. I've never had a game like that. Well, that's not true actually. I did once in the Jagdtiger. Managed to get 10 kills. This was before there was a pools medal in the game, so of course I don't have a pools medal out of it. Oh, I hate you, Rira. Stop being so good. One hell of a carry. Anyway, that's it for this episode of The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. I hope you've been amused. And as far as the second replay in this video goes, I hope you've been appalled. Take care, folks. As always, have fun playing whatever you're playing. And I will catch you next time.